We're trying this again. It says we're live.
Okay,
Okay.
we're live.
Somebody's going to come in now, right? See?
Let's see.
We have sound.
There's one.
Oh, look on the microphone. Look. It's
Ooh.
showing yes.
Ooh.
Yes.
Oh.
All right. But no, let's see. We wore out our audience. They've all gone.
Oh, God.
They're all over at Dallas's
They're all getting ice cream.
and getting ice cream. Yes. Yeah. Okay. So show this video. We already got a thumbs up.
Yeah.
Nobody in here, but we got a thumbs up. That's
It's
nice.
just
Oh, there's Chongo. Chongo, what's happening, brother man?
Chongo, can you hear us? Please and thank you.
It has everything's hinging on Chongo.
Yes.
All right, come on, Bill. Anybody, can you hear us?
Yes.
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 Hey guys, yes. Audio good. Yay! All right. So I've got an actual real audio podcast audio guy going to be here on Friday to straighten all of this stuff out. So hopefully we won't ever have this problem again. Sounds good. Fubar says it sounds good. That's good enough for me.
Yeah. Yeah.
That's the seal of approval. That's everything. Okay. Why we should be centered, kind of, right? Isn't it?
Isn't it? No, it's
A little. I guess you put me. Yes. That looks better. Yeah.
Okay.
Nice.
There we go.
Yes. Yes. Now we're cooking.
Let's try something new. Let's actually have tech questions on Wednesday night tech talk.
You want to try that?
Yeah.
Oh well, Zero's here.
Yeah.
All right.
Because we had enough aliens and money and all kinds of crazy stuff.
You don't like that?
I like it, but hey, we can mix things up.
Yeah, let's get crazy tonight. Let's do tech. So Peter Kovacs, good evening, Peter. Card 70, yes, it is a miracle.
Yeah.
Angie Ming, yes, we do have a voice. So Zero's in there. Want to drag 1320? Yes. Always want to drag. Jay Russell. Only if I'm going to win. I never race anybody unless I absolutely know I'm going to win.
Yes, that's true.
No, I'm serious. I think I'm joking.
No, you're not joking. I know you wouldn't race the electric go-kart.
Yeah.
You've seen that. You're like, no.
No, if I can't win, I don't race. It's that simple. I don't think there's anything wrong with that.
No, there's not. Was stuck in a silent show for a while. Yeah, it was YouTube purgatory.
We're all much better now.
Yeah, technology, great.
Yes.
So he's an actual audio engineer.
The guy who's coming?
Yeah.
He's a professional podcaster from Nashville. Okay. And he's a guy I've met. Actually, he did my fence at the house.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I mean, there isn't a lot of money in being a professional podcaster.
So put a fences on the podcast on the side. Put a fences.
Built a killer fence.
Yeah, I see that. It's nice.
It's beautiful.
Yeah.
It's beautiful. So so he's going to be here straightening that whole thing out for us. Angie saying, God bless your new channel on your podcast. May be very, very prosperous. Thank you, Angie. Rob68. Hello, Tony. Good evening, Bud from Staten Island. Mustang. Roland. It's the legendary Roland. What's happening, brother? How are you?
From the long Staten Island Chronicles.
Roland was the man, the Mustang. Okay, so everybody talks about like the 5-liter Mustang and the history of the 5-liter Mustang. Hey, Roland is like the unsung one of the unsung heroes of the 5-liter Mustang. He was out there. I think Roland, you had the fastest automatic car for a while, right? But yeah, Roland's awesome. I knew him when he was a kid. He was a teenager working in pizza. What the hell was the name of the place? Pizza something or other. Yeah, But yeah, Roland's awesome. Try experimental AI features. I don't want to try anything like that. No, thank you. It's giving me pop-ups on this thing. Sorry, guys. Pizza Kingdom. The best sausage rolls, like in all of New York City. So yeah, if you want to talk about the infant movement, like the very nucleus of the 5-liter Mustang movement, Roland was like right there in the middle of it. He had a silver notchback, a silver automatic notchback. I used to drive the car for him occasionally. Um, let's see. Josh Homan, good to be here. Good to have you here, brother. Let's see. Come on, there's no tech questions though.
They're coming. Everyone's just saying hi to each other. They're playing howdy and handshake, and they can't believe they can hear us.
Yeah. Hi, it's Erica.
Oh, hi. Is driving a Corvette on the track is pre-lap considered racing?
I consider waking up in the morning racing. I mean, honestly, it's just everything is a race. We're all racing through life to get to the unknown, the super unknown, right?
Everything's a race. Yeah, right? A race to the fucking end and
a race to
what's there.
The super unknown.
Right.
Yes. Nitro Mikey, what's happening, brother? 72 Z28 wakes up and his heart is racing. You should see a doctor about that.
Or lay off the Red Bull before you go to bed. One of the two.
All right. Well, Angie is saying, well, now that everything is up and going, is it too soon to talk about some problems with my car? Or should I wait? No.
No.
Now is the time, Angie. Bring it, honey. Let's see. Barbecue Township, North Carolina. Barbecue. I like North Carolina barbecue. His 19. Okay. See. ER cost 60. His 1984 Yamaha CDI is incapacitating. That was my big gripe with the Kawasaki triples. The H1s and the H2s, they had that CDI thing that you take the seat off, and then there's these two boxes. It's crazy, like antiquated Godzilla era boxes with all kinds of like crazy electronics, and I just didn't want to deal with any of that stuff.
Yeah, all right. The exhaust was looking good. Yeah, handmade mine from AutoZone pipes for my 67 Impala SS. Yep, been there, been back, made those trips to AutoZone many times for here and.
Exhaust is for the white man. I just will not.
I know. Yeah.
I'm off white.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
I'm all white. Look at
you're a total cracker, man. I'm off white, and I just am not going to bother with that noise.
Yeah.
Let's see. From Buell videos to here. How do you know about the Buell? Did I say anything about the Buell? How did you know I got a Buell?
Wow. That's why our computers are working.
No, seriously. Who is that now?
Right there.
Joel, from Buell videos to here, Rooma Zoom speed buggy. Well, Joel, you're obviously insane, but how did you know that I bought a Buell yesterday? How did you know that? Okay, wait. I want to go back to Angie. Right? Okay. I don't want to miss Angie's
she had an
actual question. Yeah. And I want to be helpful. Granddad's junk. Good day, Big T and Dr. Art. Where's Kiwi from Grain? He's sulking. Let's see. Tony has a stalker. Yeah, I might. No, I literally just bought a Buell yesterday, and I got a buddy of mine swapping tires on it right now, and it's supposed to be done so I can go rip around and probably kill myself tonight when I'm done with this live. So if I rush out of here tonight, that's why. Okay, so asking about Jamie. Okay, so Jamie just sent me a text.
It's not that bad.
I'm going to show you. Well, we don't know just exactly the complete scope of the damage yet.
Oh, that's true.
Right.
1/3 of it.
Okay. It is twisted and broke.
Yeah, that's right.
Okay. Yes. Well, the twist is from normal.
That much twist?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. All right. So, can you guys see that? Yeah, you can see that, right? So Jamie just sent me that picture, I don't know, a half hour ago. So it snapped at least one axle. So I'm gonna show you something here, right? This is interesting. All right. So back when we were running the fuel cars, the axle, you have to cycle the axles. And it's like, how often do you cycle the axles? How do you know when the axle is no good anymore? So this picture right here illustrates it pretty well. You see the way that spline, the edge of the spline lines up with that? Okay. So if you look at the end of the spline by the broken part of the axle, you see where the twist is? Well, when it's a straight line, when the twisted part aligns with the next spline over to it, that's how you know it's time to change the axle. So that's the damage so far from Jamie's car. He's autopsying it as we speak right now. Maybe he'll jump on here. Did I miss Angie? I don't want to miss Angie.
No, I don't think we did, but let's check.
Adrian, and there she is. Then I got to wait 15 or 20 seconds for it to start. Okay, wait. All right. Okay. 1981 Trans Am 4.9 turbo is still bogging out after I put a new carburetor, rebuilt, disconnected the choke, and put a new fuel pump in it. Runs good for a while, and then it shuts off. Got to wait. Okay. Yeah, there's a lot of heat under that hood. So Angie, you've got a fuel percolation issue. Come on. What am I doing? I don't want to do this. All right, here we go. Because she wrote something else. Then I got to wait about 15 or 20 seconds for it to start. Yeah, listen, Angie. What you got there is you got a fuel percolation issue, and okay. Here's the thing, right? A carbureted turbocharged car. Oh, yeah, it's bad. Okay, it's bad. That's a product of today's gas. It's not that the car is doing anything wrong or the carburetor is doing anything wrong. It's a product of today's gas, which doesn't have the anti-boil properties. You got two strikes against today's gas. You've got the ethanol, which is part of it. But even if you buy non-ethanol gas, it still doesn't have the anti-boil qualities or additives construction that it had in the days that car was built. So it's not even a matter of finding non-ethanol gas. It's the setup you have there is very incompatible with pretty much anything you can buy at the pump today. I don't have any suggestions for what gas to use. Do you?
Not gas, but can't you make, where the bracers, they put the plate underneath the bowls of the carburetor?
Yes.
So make like a.
Under normal circumstances, yes.
But it's with the
turbocharged.
The turbo. So
yeah.
Gas is.
The underhood heat is just going to be fucking. No, yeah. You're not going to overcome that easily. Joe K, is it a computer-controlled carb? It wouldn't make any difference if it is or not. Those carburetors, those CCC feedback carburetors, really don't. The computer doesn't affect really the way they run. You got the throttle position. There's only two. There's two sensors in there, right? Or there's two electronic components to them, and they have to do with feedback to the computer for ignition timing. It has nothing to do with the actual function of the carburetor. It's feedback to the CCC system, and that's how it judges its timing. You see what I'm saying? So it's not the carburetor. So whether it's electronic carburetor or not, it's not going to be that. John M is saying she needs a fuel filter that runs of boiling vapors back to the tank. Yes, I did a video called Vapor Lock Fix for $8 Vapor Lock Fix, whatever it was. But her setup there should already have a return from the fuel pump. And I think her fuel percolation problem is happening in the carburetor, and there's nothing you can do between the pump and the carburetor to prevent that. So I don't know. Let's see. Charlton Zimmerman says, I did it again. Which one? Which thing did I do?
He did it again, Charles.
No.
UT did it again.
Yeah. Charles says UT. I'm UT.
Yeah. Okay, good.
Says they did it again.
Yeah.
Well, did I do it well?
Like, if you stop doing it, you'd be dead. So,
No lie. I want to ride my motorcycle. So I bought a Buell Ulysses. You guys gonna see a video on that tomorrow, and I'm all like totally stoked on it. I got a buddy of mine as we speak right now. I got a buddy of mine swapping tires for me, and I'll have it back when this live is over tonight. Pro tip: if you ever do get a Buell Ulysses and it has knobbies on it, right, swap them out immediately. Bad. Okay, card 70, you're right. It does, but it only affects idle. It doesn't affect anything but idle. David Bird, you have a Ducati V Twins, man. Chango, do I need to fabricate motor mounts to drop a 440 into a 1962 Dodge Dart with a 318 Poly K member, or do I need to find a later model K member? No, you're fine. The Poly K is the same as the same as a small block, and yeah, the brackets on it are going to be the same. Just use 1967 and 67 to 72 big block engine brackets and motor mount insulators, and you're good to go. No, you take one.
He has an 81. Okay. Long Island Mopar is Angie. Seek out Google user GP. He has an 81 Turbo TA, and he is the authority on these cars.
That is a very good tip. Fu will put a link to my merch. Thank you, Fu Box. My shirts. Great shirt, right? Very popular shirt. My hats. Yeah. You never have to comb or anything if you have one of my hats. Yes. You take what's left of your hair, you just stick it back there. You put the hat on.
Keep the sun and the wind off of it.
You're groomed all the time, bro. You're groomed all the time. Right? This rat's nest out the back, nobody cares because they're only looking at you like that.
Right.
Yeah. At least that's the way I think.
No, it works because a lot of people don't even know you got the rat's nest.
No.
They just see your hair. They just see your front.
Exactly. Mm-hmm. Let's see. Mike Ray, I restored salvage to good homes over 200 Japanese bikes. Bro, I love UJMs. You have no idea. I just don't have any room for them right now. I've narrowed my fleet down to 4 motorcycles now, and I'm gonna maintain it right there because I need one for every occasion. So I got that, but I love UJMs. I had a beautiful GS 550 at Suzuki. It was like a museum piece that I got rid of recently.
I know the answer to that, but can you use an external reservoir in a dry sump system, but also have a wet sump oil pan?
I have to read that again. Can you use an external reservoir, okay, on a dry sump system, which you would have? That's the whole point of a dry sump system, is to have an external reservoir, but also have a wet sump oil pan. No.
You'd have a lot of oil, but
no. Oh, you would have to have 2 different pumps. Oh wait. So even on a dry sump system, there is still oil in the pan. You've got a scavenge line from the pan. So all the oil that gets pumped through the engine ends up in the oil pan, and there's a scavenge line from the back of the oil pan. It's the same as a pickup. And instead of returning the oil directly back into circulation in the pan, it sends it to the reservoir. That's how a dry sump works.
And why would you need a dry sump if you're going to keep the pan? Because the dry sump is to keep the off.
Yeah.
Keep it off the ground.
I'm not really sure what he's.
Yeah. Tony is the head of the International Jeep XJ cartel, manipulating prices all over the globe.
That's right.
Yeah.
I'm the Jeep version of the Illuminati.
Yeah.
David Byrne, I had to modify the shifter on my Ducati so I could ride with my prosthetic left leg. Adapt and overcome. Absolutely.
Yep.
Absolutely. Joel Aikner, under 19,000 for pre-ordered Buell right now. Tax not included, but 186 horsepower. Yeah, I know. I'm happy. I tell you what, I've seen a new Buell. It's awesome. But I'm a Sportster guy, right? So that's why you know what I mean? So it's like I have my two Sportsters already, and now I've added this Buell, which is just a crazy, crazy Sportster. It's 104 horsepower, 103, 104 horsepower, but the torque is just freaking insane. I do a whole video on this bike tomorrow. But yeah, Need Metal saying over the 19,000 ain't bad.
Charlton Zimmerman, some fuel stations are now selling 87 octane ethanol free gas. Finally, here in Pennsylvania, it's been a long wait. It's not old gas, good gas. It's just the new blend without the octane.
More or less.
So
it's yeah. That has nothing to do with the anti-boiling properties, though.
It's nice if you have like a boat and you don't want the gas to go bad. You put some stable in it. That could help, but it's not. Ethanol free gas is not what I think a lot of people think it is.
Harry Australia, to machine the main caps or add shims when installing a main girdle. Usually both. And it depends on the main girdle that you're putting in there. But like for instance, going by like a 392 Chrysler main girdle, right? To machine the caps to fit the girdle correctly is extremely difficult. So a lot of guys would just machine the caps to come close, leaving a little bit of a slop fit, and then use 3, 4, 5,000 shims to get the right preload on it. You can't put too much preload because then it distorts the cap. It wants to distort the cap inward, downward, creates its own set of stresses. So there has to be a certain amount of preload, and I couldn't say exactly how much preload. But generally speaking, in that case, it was both machining and shims. You can machine for the proper preload, but oof, yeah, I mean that's an extremely intricate operation. I wouldn't, so I would say machine to get close, and then shim to the preload that you want. You take one.
What's what I'm looking at here?
Okay. I'll go with Joe King while you're doing that. Opinion on Brit bikes: BSA, Norton, Triumph. Beezers are beautiful, right? I had a couple of them. I had two 69 A65s. Nortons, I was never crazy about Nortons. Nortons for two reasons I don't like Nortons, right? They lose the Brit bike aesthetic with those forward-leaning cylinders, if you ask me, like in my opinion, right? So yeah, I'm not crazy about the side profile view of a Norton, but the vibration, man. I had I had a customer that had an 850 Commando way back in the day, and that thing would vibrate just horribly. It was the worst vibrating bike I've ever ridden. And it seemed that the vibration would come and go in cycles, and it always coincided with whatever the speed of traffic was. So it just seemed that if traffic was moving at 50 miles an hour, that's where it fucking hammered the worst. You slow down to 45, it's okay. You speed up to 60, it's okay. If you go to flow of traffic, I hated that bike. It was beautiful, yellow. It was a really nice looking bike. But no, I'm not crazy about it. And Triumphs, what can you say about Triumphs? Triumphs are the standard as far as Brit bikes go. People argue that the early Bonneville's are the most beautiful motorcycles ever built, and it's hard to argue with that because they are visually perfect from every angle.
That's what people care
That's
about.
what
What their stuff looks like. They didn't care about this or that. It's you're the designer, design the bike.
designed with love.
Yes.
That's why I love my little supercar. Because that was literally hand drawn by Mr. Honda himself. You know what I'm saying? That's like that's the creator's vision of what the motorcycle should be. And the purity of it is just over the top.
Yeah.
And that's not everybody's cup of tea. Yeah, I look like a faggot driving it. I don't care. It's beautiful. It's a little jewel. You know what I'm saying?
What do you think about the new Indian Scout? Well, there's been so many new Indians, it's hard to.
Yeah, they're. I mean, listen, they ring a lot out of that basic package. I got nothing bad to say about them. They just don't really do it for me. You know what I mean? But I've heard nothing bad about them, and I don't really have anything negative to say about them other than they just not my cup of tea.
They're a little like Art Deco-y.
I can't put my finger on it exactly.
But it was the big fender.
Oh, you're thinking of the old ones. You're talking about the new ones.
Oh.
Yeah, it's and it's the same thing there. You know, it's like it's not the same styling, but it's like the same thing. It's like it's a something's a little off.
Yeah. Now we're going into motorcycles. That's fine.
People love motorcycles. They try to kill you though.
Yeah, I don't know. It's fine. I can stay 5 feet away from any motorcycle and I'm fine. Is a 440 a direct swap over in a Cordoba?
Yes.
Over a 400, yeah.
Yes, exact. Even the weights on the torque converter are the same.
Why would you take the 400? If you build the 400, you'd be happier, you think, right? Since it's the way the car was made.
The 400 has become the preferred engine, you know, and the 400 takes best advantage of the cylinder heads. But I mean, you flip a coin. I mean, he may just have
he may have a 440 on a stand.
Right. Pat is saying, I lost it a couple of weekends ago and I traded my Sportster 1200 for a 2023 Road Glide. I just have too many long highway drives every week. Well, the bike has got to fit the purpose. You know what I mean? So I have my two Sportsters. I got the 02 and the 99. The 02 is a roadster and the 99 is a custom, right? But I consider them both around town bikes. Like I don't go for long rides. For me, a long ride. We were just talking about this a minute before we came on. For me, I'm good like 2 hours. Okay, you know, an hour out and an hour back, and like that's it. That's all the saddle time I need to keep myself happy. So the Sportsters work perfectly for that. But if you're a road warrior, you love that, then no, the Sportster is a terrible choice, and you made the right decision. You know, good luck with your bike, bro. Let's see.
I think some questions were like in the middle of people back and forth.
Yes. David Bird, you guys almost ready for Power Tour? Are you almost ready for Power Tour?
Almost is a good word for it.
He's almost ready.
Almost.
Yes, I am. I'm ready. My car's just sitting on the side over there.
Yeah, I mean, I will be there.
Yes.
I'm almost ready, and I will be there. It's just there's variables in the middle.
He has variables.
Variables.
It happens. Variables happen to the best of us.
Right. Let's see. My dad had a 1970 Cornet RT clone with a 446 pack. What a fun car. The ultimate accumulation of ugly and beautiful.
I've always loved the 70 Dodges. They just
with that split
the split bumpers. Yep.
Bumpers.
I love the front end of those cars. Let's see. Joel Ackner, how many cars besides the Demon 170 can pull the front tires off the ground? Stock? Well, yeah, you got a point there. Stock? Yeah.
Mm-hmm. I have a late model Buick 3.6 in the shop with a stretch timing chain. Gives me 15 engine codes.
Oh, I can believe that.
Yeah.
I can believe that.
What's a Cordoba talk?
And lots of bike talk.
Yeah.
Toilet and septic. Horses for courses. A man needs 4 bikes. I agree. A dirt bike. Yes. A need for speed. Yes. A town bomber and a 600-mile-a-day bagger. Yes. Well, that's what the Buell is going to be, because it actually is a bagger. I got the luggage for it. It's got came with hard bags. So that's primarily I'm going to use that bike for. I'm going to try. I'm going to make a couple of road trips with it. See how but because it's an Ulysses, I can make half those road trips off the road. So go me. Yeah,
that's true. You know what? I'll put the knobbies back on and race your brother.
That's not a bad idea. I should get another set of wheels.
Yeah, you just swap over. Swap.
Yeah.
Just the muds, and come on Ralphie. Then that solves the endless looking for 4x4 Jeep problem.
But honestly, I tell you what, on the Dirt Devil, right?
Mm-hmm.
Those knobbies would really only be needed for a couple of very small sections. Yeah, well, it's the tread that came with it. It's not quite the street tire, and it's not an off-road tire. It's an in-between type of thing. I gotta see what it handles. I gotta see how it handles.
But that would be because you would just rip past them.
Rip past anything with the bike.
Yeah.
It's insane.
Yeah.
The motor in the Ulysses is the pinnacle of air-cooled sports development. I will agree with you. Now, I've ridden a few Buells in the past. The one in the Ulysses is tuned different. It's. I can't explain it. I don't have enough time on the saddle in that bike to really pinpoint what's different about it. But it is different. There's no question about it. Let's see. What do we got? Well, they're all bikes.
Yeah, they're all bike questions. Not even questions, just comments and brags, and yeah.
Well, because people love this stuff.
Mm-hmm.
Maybe we should get you on a bike.
No, we should not.
Don't let the mini bike freak you out. Have you ever ridden?
Yes, and that's why I don't ride them. For one, don't really care that much, and for two, I drive like this.
Yeah, I know that's a problem I have to.
And I would not be here if I like to be on motorcycles, because the
Buell was an impulse buy, and it was a bad impulse. I know this.
It's all right.
I know this. E3N, Uncle Tony, would you ever own a Dodge Demon 170 or one of those big? If I wanted one, I'd have one. Believe me, there'd be one sitting in the shop here, or there'd be one in my driveway at the house. I have zero desire for one. No.
Somebody need a Can-Am. No, I had snowmobiles, and I've had ATVs because they weren't side by side when I had all that stuff, and I've had boats, and I've had this, and everything. Just I'd stay off of motorcycles for a reason.
Understood and totally respected.
Yeah.
Well, I'll tell you what, you're smarter than I am. That's. Let's see.
How about the transmission yoke? Am I one time when I accidentally did a neutral drop? Yeah, we'll do that.
Los Cadaver, I missed the old upturned exhaust manifolds on the Chrysler Imperial Max. Okay, I was saying.
BS Customs, Art, what solder setup do you have? Just a normal pen, or do you have like a rework station with hot air pencil and such? No, I have a couple different ones. I have one for fine stuff. I have one for general use, and I have an air powered solder sucker and just a manual one, and like one of those big magnifying glass with the light donuts in it to see stuff. But that's it. Nothing special.
Jeff
There's changes.
says he's itchy and smells bad. Any advice?
Take a bath. I did right before I came here, so I wouldn't.
Bathing is good.
Yeah.
Bathing is good. Okay. Oh, Jamie, Dead Dodge Garage in the house here. Oops. 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 Oh, come on. What am I doing wrong? You're not doing any better. Oh, okay. All right. Hey guys, I'm here revealing the fact that I broke an axle shaft. Tony said something about issues during the burnout. I reviewed the footage and the wheel did not appear to slow down or stop. You're not going to see it slow down or stop. It's a shudder. Okay, it's hard to explain. You actually have to feel it, right? Because I've broken axles before, and I know exactly the moment when the axle was damaged, and it happened at the end of a burnout, right? It's almost like I'll explain to you.
It's almost because I watched his video with just Mopar Joe too, when he was doing the burnouts and the dry hops. You can kind of see it, kind of.
Yeah, it's like a jerking motion. You're not really going to see it so much; you'll feel it.
Yeah, because the wheel kind of does this instead of this. It's that normal movement to the wheel.
It's almost like you'll get one tire in the water, a lot of water, one tire, not enough water, and one will want a freewheel, and the other one will kind of like jerk a little bit while it tries to catch up to the other one, and that's where the fracture happens. And then you let the clutch fly, you on the starting line, and that's when it actually lets go.
That's the best bit of speed. Never have to worry about it again.
Well, it'll still damage itself with a spool.
Yeah.
Okay, now Jamie is saying straight boat, that was not wheel hop. On the hit, the wheel was shoving the tire towards the ground, though. It did not have enough pressure in. I don't know if you didn't have enough pressure in it. It bit pretty freaking hard. Jamie is saying everyone is freaking out about my leaf springs fanning out. Can you please explain why they do that for everybody? I've done this video. I can't tell you how many times I've done this video.
We talked about this 10 times. Yeah, in the last.
Okay. Those cars have asymmetrical leaf springs, meaning that the axle is located in the front 1/3 of the leaf spring. Now, because the axle is so close to the front of the leaf spring, if you clamp the front sections of the leaf together, it acts as a traction bar. It actually tries to push down, or tries to lift the car, and by counter force push down on the rear end, in addition to the pinion snubber he has on that car. So what you do is, to allow the front end to like solidly lift up on the car, you unclamp the springs in the back, and it allows them to fan out. Because you're letting them fan out, it's solidifying the front part of it. So there's no fighting it. You see what I'm saying? They all want to move in unison, because the back of it is allowed free movement. If you had the back of it bound, then the front segments wouldn't want to move together. Does that make any sense? Jamie is saying, yep, snubber and clamps acts as a traction bar. And his lifts the car to spring fans out. Many commentators think my leaf springs are broken. I know.
And you have to, he's the one in the car would have felt it if it shook or hopped or anything like that. So.
And you're talking about tire pressure, right? If you're running a pinion snubber, you got to run lower tire pressure on a setup like that. Because if you run, let's say 10, 12, well, even 10, if you run like 12, 14 pounds or so in the tires, like so that you don't get any like squish when the snubber hits, it bounces the back tires off the ground and it'll break traction. So if you're going to run a snubber, you have to run low pressure so that the snubber can actually push the tire down into the ground and not have that counter force of the air pressure trying to push the rear end back up again. So it's a balance, and it looked to me like you had it dead nuts. I mean, that car was like perfect.
The what would cause a fuel pump relay to blow on a quarter mile passes multiple times? Car runs fine on the street, pulls, but they aren't. Yeah, on a box body.
You're the electronic guy. I say take the freaking relay out and throw it away.
Bigger relay.
No, just wire past it.
Yeah.
You
I mean, unless it's too much draw, well, what pump do you have, and what amp is your relay? I guess we should start there. And then what gauge wire do you have the relay to the pump wiring and all that kind of stuff?
could a sketchy ground
Yeah.
put extra load on the relay?
Yeah. And then where do you have it grounded? Do you have it grounded to, pressure sensor to the chassis, to the frame, to the motor, to the internally on the little tech screw that you mounted the relay with? Yeah, there's all kinds of.
Could be any of them.
Mm-hmm.
So Jamie's saying it was definitely really close. The video speaks for themselves. Yes. No, you could not ask. You and Mopar Joe had the back end of that car dead nuts, bro. It was textbook. It was textbook. Just everything else wasn't quite there. You know what I mean? And most of it is just experience, launching the car and figuring where that sweet spot is on the clutch. The sweet spot as far as RPM goes, and the sweet spot on the clutch. The swapping of feet. It's like a poetic thing when you get it all together. When the traction, the engine, the throttle, and the clutch is all got to work together in a motion, and that gets the car out there. And that's something that only comes with seat time. So you did freaking great, bro. Absolutely freaking great.
I still think he pulled it.
I think so too. I saw the video.
Yeah. So, I mean, what more? Really.
So you're saying you need to drop his RPM? I don't think you need to drop the RPM. I think you just need to not sidestep the clutch. Right? You need to look. There's sidestepping, okay, and then there's swapping feet. So swapping feet is when you're giving throttle at the same time you're pulling the clutch out, right? So it's a balance. So it's a balance of feeding throttle and clutch at the same time. You can't just like hit the gas, sidestep the clutch, and let the thing go bang and go. Unless you got a Dana 60, a whole different setup. But for what you have there, you got to drive it out, and you drive it out by swapping feet. You find that sweet spot where the amount of slip that's in the clutch crosses the amount of RPM and power that the motor is starting to create, and it just rides out on the suspension. And that just comes with seat time. You just got to practice, and you'll find it. And you'll be amazed how fast you go with that car that you have there.
Yeah, you wanted that violent 5 foot, but you'll be faster to the 100 foot.
Yeah, you don't need violence. Somebody's talking about there's some ragtop is ZL1 is talking about a spine. Okay. A Barracuda, do axles twist a bit like torsion bars? If they didn't, they would snap like twigs. There has to be give. The axle has got to have a springy characteristic to it, the same way a crankshaft has to have a springy characteristic to it. If you had just, let's say, just a hardened steel crankshaft, like no give, the motor would run for like a minute and it would just shatter. And it's the same thing with axles. If the axles don't have some sort of give to them, some sort of spring to them, they'll just snap.
Depleted uranium axles.
Yeah.
They'd be tough
Right.
until you shocked them one time and they would just
Exactly.
explode. Yeah.
Exactly. Um, let's see. Howard Munzer, they have ductility built into them so they won't snap.
It's
Yes.
a nice word.
Yes. Well, that's why we have the most amazing viewers.
Yes. That must be a word from Colorado.
Yes.
Where he lives.
It's a word from education.
Oh, well, there you go. He's educated.
Joel Eichner, plug indexing. It's just thin washers under your plugs. Takes a few. Oh, okay. I thought it was. A loose motor is a happy motor. The book of UTG. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The old saying is, if your motor is too tight, everybody will know it. If your motor is too loose, only you'll know it. And Zero just put up the link to Dead Dodge Garage, Jamie's channel. Go over there, sub to him. I keep saying it, the best Mopar channel on all of YouTube, period, the end.
And he covers everything from the pickups to the uglies to the chargers to everything.
Jamie shows equal love for all of Mom Mopar's creatures, and that's what makes his channel so freaking awesome. Let's see. Yes, Parnelli Jones has passed. It's a true legend right there.
Yeah.
No, not that. He just died.
I thought he was dead for like.
No, yesterday.
Okay. I have to reset that in my brain, I guess.
Josh Holman, a loose motor is a worn out motor ready for rebuilding or the junkyard. Okay. I'm not going to argue with him.
Yeah, okay.
Howard Monza says his motor is loose as a $2 hooker on a Saturday night.
Mm-hmm.
We should try to keep that clean. Yeah, I shouldn't have said that. You shouldn't have said that either. You're a bad influence. Stop that. We have to keep this family friendly. He meant hooker headers. That's right.
That's right. Yeah.
That's right. Hooker headers.
Because $2 hooker headers won't fit very loose.
Very loose. Money Gray. My 318 has a slight knock at idle.
Congratulations.
So here's an old mechanics trick.
Okay.
Okay. So you got a slight knock at idle, right? You're not sure what it is. Is it a piston, a pin, or a bearing?
Lobster. We don't know yet.
You know, you thought? Ground the plug wire. If you ground the plug wire and the knock goes away, it's a piston. It's either a cracked piston, right, or a pin noise.
Mm-hmm.
If it doesn't go away,
Then it's a bearing.
then it's a bearing. So there you go, guys. Mike Gray says a bearing in his case. Okay. Howard Manza has a suspension question on springs. Howard Manza, go for it, brother.
Joel, best sounding car I've ever heard. My uncle's buddy with a 340 CUDA with headers and glass packs. Probably thresh the Woody Woodpecker sticker on his fenders. It probably did sound rowdy, but yeah.
340s always sound good. They're
Yeah.
just good sounding motors. He's been driving it with the knock for 12 years. Well, keep going, bro.
Yeah. Don't look at it. Just go. Our Fox Buddy 4-cylinder gas tank, same as a V8 gas tank. Yes.
How about Monza? I have removed a lot of weight from my Monza. I have ordered softer springs to counter the harsh ride. I don't. Well, ride quality is really not my forte, but you would know.
Why don't you just? I mean, if you want a softer ride, just take one of the springs out of the pack.
Springs out of the pack.
Well, if it's got, it's 4 springs. Take the middle one out. You got 3 left. Clamp it back down. It'll be a little bit more pliable.
Wait a minute, those Monzas are leaf spring cars? They're coil in the back, aren't they? Monzas are.
He said I thought he had a leaf spring question. Oh, okay.
He said just spring question.
Oh, okay. Well, never mind then.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm pretty sure they're
coils in the back?
Yeah. Yeah, it's coil. Yeah, bro. I mean, ride quality is not really my forte. It's not something I've really paid much attention to, so I can't give you, any type of experience answer. End of Times is Steve Magnanti's GoFundMe is over $357,000.
Nice.
That is just awesome.
Good for him. Yeah, he's been putting up new videos.
That's just absolutely awesome. Mm-hmm. Oh, standing foot. Dr. Art, when tricking the PCM with a capacitor and resistor to simulate a catalytic converter, should I get it so the downstream O2 reaches 0%?
Yes, in most circumstances.
Don't tell me. Tell him.
I'm thinking about it. But yes, in most circumstances, and that should, at 0, that should be enough to keep your light off.
Yeah, but wait, if it's 0%, wouldn't the computer then assume that there's a malfunction?
No. Because it's looking for, it's kind of backwards. It's looking for unburnt fuel.
Right.
So it doesn't see any unburnt fuel. It means the cat's working good. It's not. Okay. It's a narrow band thing. It's not a big wide band like. So yeah, 0 is good.
Only 6,000 people donated. That's all right. That's money's tight these days for a lot of people. So $357,000 is just awesome. He needed it. He really needed it. Mike Fredericks. Hey, fellas, any chance you might collaborate?
I that one because I knew the answer.
With the Roadkill guys for an episode. They do not like me, and it goes way before YouTube. It goes way before YouTube. It goes back to magazine days. I am definitely not. I will not ever be invited to any Roadkill guys parties. How's that sound?
Nothing Hot Rod magazine related.
No, I wrote for Hot Rod magazine. That was fine, but it was before.
Oh.
Yeah, I did that back in the 90s. Before that douchebag actually became a thing.
But it was still somebody over there.
So yeah, no chance of us ever collaborating with Roadkill.
No, if they want to throw their crew in a budget, we'll make a road.
You can go collaborate with them.
Yeah. Yeah, they're not mad at me yet. So.
He's never mad at me. He's been talking shit about me for eons. I mean, like literally long before anything YouTube. I mean, 20 years ago, I had people would come to me. What did you ever do to that guy? And I'm like, what do you mean? You just mentioned your name around him, and he goes berserk. Foaming at the mouth.
This thing and drilling.
Yeah. So Why? I don't know. I honestly don't know.
Well, maybe you'll see him on Tuesday. You won't even know who you are by face. So,
Oh, he'll know who I am.
yeah.
Um, let's see. Brian Power, Dr. Art, maybe you've answered this before, but what software adapter setups do you use to tweak the OBD1 computers? I have an EEC4 system and I'm trying to hook into it.
I don't do anything with OBD1 computers anymore because, for one, there's not a lot of them, and for two, you can't really do a lot with them. If you have, they're basically like a chipset tune or a piggyback type setup. You can't go in and change parameters and save and write it and leave it alone. So, no, I just don't play with it, Brian. I just don't play with the OBD1 stuff anymore. It's not any fun.
Now you need an actual chip, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. You need a pre-programmed chip to put in it as opposed to rewriting what's already in there.
Correct.
Okay.
Yeah. You're electronically reasonable.
That's the difference between OBD1 and OBD2.
Right. I did a lot of stuff with EECs, and mostly the stuff I did with the EEC4 computers was talk people out of ripping it off and putting a carburetor on and showing them what to fix to make it run right.
So Joe K is saying, so us OBD folks are shit out of luck. No.
There's plenty for, especially Mustangs, Corvettes. Fill in the blank on the OBD1 stuff. There are places that still sell chips, and you can call them and they'll say, I got this, and I did this to the car. And
right.
They'll send you a chip, and you open up the case, and you plug her in.
Or you could do an aftermarket standalone deal. You don't necessarily have to go with the original. But that's the big difference between OBD1 and OBD2. OBD1 is all set. There's really nothing you can go in there and change. And OBD2, you can go in there and change things. That's
to get things to change on OBD1, you have to fool it with erroneous pressure readings and things, and stuff like that. It's not a lot of fun.
Mitch 19. I'm going to be breaking in my 410 FE soon. Currently have a Sniper EFI on it. Is it bad to do a break-in on EFI carbs? Has Molly rings, if that means anything. Yes, it does. But go ahead.
Did you have this set up on the engine before you rebuilt it, or is it like new out of the box? Because that would make a difference also.
So I'm gonna hazard to say that if it's new out of the box, breaking in the motor with fresh Molly rings with it is not a good idea.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I wasn't gonna say that because I didn't want to be like,
that's what I asked. Yeah, if you had it on the motor and it was running and it's tuned in and you basically did a rebuild basically the same. But if you put in a big ass lumpy cam and change parameters and the thing's not going to read right, and with the Molly rings, you're just going to wash them and rebuild them again.
Yeah. So yeah, if you have a good known carburetor, I would break the motor in on the carburetor and then switch over to the EFI.
With a smaller size carburetor.
Doesn't matter. Just like you put a 1 barrel on it for the break-in.
Yeah.
But at least it's not going to be so fat that it washes the rings. And during that learning period that the new EFI system's got to go through, it's going to be all over the map, and it's going to get erroneous readings. It's going to pick up the friction, the heat from the combustion chamber is going to affect the O2 sensor. So it's going to affect
in all oil because the Molly rings aren't set.
Yeah.
It's going to So same. Yeah, break it in on a carb.
Yes, break it in on the carb and switch over.
You don't have to be afraid. That's what I was going to say.
I don't know. I had a hunch that's what you were going to say, but I didn't want to
No.
Lean, fucking burn. Holly even says specifically, do not break in an engine with that system. Okay, well, thank you. At least the manufacturer agrees that it's not a reliable system.
Right.
Come on.
Matt, you ever worked with AE software? No, I didn't. I just used the AE, wide bands, but I don't do any other engine, nothing with any other engine tuning.
Let's see.
Someone's there. Now they went all the way to flip flops.
Oh, they're talking about that douchebag. Let's see, what is software? That's what I'd like to know.
Rob's riding streetcars. Howdy, everyone. Hey, Rob.
Let's see. Joel Eichner, big block, thicker metal between the pistons. What else is different? 400 small block to 400 big block. Oof, everything is different.
Yeah.
Two completely different engine architectures. The 400 big block is a canted valve cylinder head, whereas the 400 small block is just a straight inline wedge. Two completely different engine architectures.
Yeah. I might as well forget that they both say Chevy on it. They're that different.
Right. And the 400 small block has its own oddities because there's steam holes in the deck of the block that don't exist in other ones. The 400 small block was not a.
And it's got weird crank journal sizes.
Yeah, it's not the best small block. It's not the best small block. But the 400 crank in the 350 block gets you that magical 3D3 that everybody loves. And I've built a few of those over the course of the years, three small block Chevys. No, they actually turn the bearing, the main bearing down to the 350 size.
Oh, you can get just the bearing size?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah,
the last one I seen was a long time ago.
Oh, yeah. Well, that would be the spacers are to put is to put a small journal crank in the 400 block.
So I had it backwards.
Yeah.
Okay.
Leanburn is saying there was never actually a big block 400. It was a 386 and 69 and a 402 and 70. The 400 was the Siamese. Yes.
Mm-hmm.
The 402. And what did they call the 402 in the Chevelle?
I know.
Let's see what they say.
Mm-hmm. A couple people got it.
Yeah. Derelict farm truck? Let's see. Mitch 19. So how would you tune a carb to an engine that isn't running? Should I borrow someone's carb that they have on a running 410, or should I use the old carb that was on the 352? It's a 2-barrel. If it ran well, then use it. Right? Doesn't matter if it's 2-barrel, 4-barrel. Doesn't make
for braking, it doesn't matter.
For braking, it's not going to matter. If the carburetor is set up correctly, okay, and I did this. There's like a universal carburetor basic setup, okay. That I don't know if it was intended that way. That all of the engineers or said, you know what, let's make this so that it's tunable across the board. Anybody can, so regardless of what type of carburetor. But generally speaking, to get the thing started and put you in the ballpark, they're all the same. And it's approximately one turn on the idle set screw. You know, the idle set screw. You know, for the throttle blades, right? And then between 1 and 1.5 turns out on the mixture screws. And that'll get you to start and idle like every time, providing the carburetor is sound. No crazy issues, no vacuum leaks, no clogged passages or anything like that. So approximately, I did a whole video on that. I did a whole video on that, initial carburetor setup. It doesn't matter what kind of carburetor it is. Approximately one turn out on the idle set, and then figure a turn and a half out on each of the mixture screws, or however many mixture screws you have, and that'll get you going. Beagle Bob says my Beagle says I need to turn off YouTube and walk her. Triple digit temps be damned. Yes, take her for a walk. Give her a pet for me. Scratch her behind ears. Beagles love the ear pulls. Okay, pull the ears. They love that. They love the the ear pulls and the ear tugs.
Yeah, if it's over 100, as long as the sun's down, their feet are
Yeah. Jeff, ever thought about doing a 4-wheel drive XJ build like a budget Trackhawk? Not really. Not really. I'm having fun with the 2-wheel drive 5-speed. I just put tires on it. We're going to do an update on that. We're going to take it to the track this coming Friday night. I was going to take slag hammer. I'm straightening out the transmission, and so for the first time, I'm actually going back into the transmission. I think I changed out the valve body because you throw the shift and it waits, and then it shifts. So I'm swapping out the valve body now. I was going to take that on Friday, but I just got the tires for the XJ, so I'm going to take that Friday.
John Cope came up with his own shift improver kit for those transmissions.
I did, but I've already got a valve body that's loaded up with a shift kit in it.
Oh,
So
yeah, just swap. Okay, never mind.
Howard Manza is asking, is there anyone else here tired of chicken fried bacon?
Why would you get tired of that?
I've never had it. I've had chicken fried steak. I love chicken fried steak. Chicken fried bacon.
Chicken fried steak and eggs, and oh yeah.
I don't eat eggs.
Oh.
So, it's like a chicken embryo. I want to give it a chance to be an actual chicken. See what I'm saying?
So go for the adult version of the.
I eat them as ingredients and things, but
yeah,
not by itself.
No?
No.
Oh, okay.
No. But that's just me. And Kathy loves eggs, so I'm always smelling eggs in the house, and I hate that. It's bad. How does one chicken fry the bacon? Don't they have to? So no, I want to know about this.
I think you'd have to bread the bacon and fry it up like a.
Can you take your order for a minute?
Yeah. Go. Tony, I have a Holley 750 CFM vacuum secondary on a 350. When start car, it idles really high, and then step on the gas, idles good. It only happens in the morning on the first start. Well, if you have a choke on it, there is a height idle adjustment for the choke. It's on the choke side. Screw you can turn up or down, but that's how they're supposed to work. But that high side does have an adjustment too.
Oh, this is real. Meat Church. Chicken fried bacon is a delicious pan-fried Texan snack. I had chicken fried bacon for the first time this day. Why haven't I ever heard of this?
I lived in Texas 3 times. I never had chicken fried bacon.
Images? Oh. Oh, God. Hey, guys, look. Can you see that?
Let's talk about this.
That's chicken fried bacon. It's real. Oh, there's like a ranch.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, look at this. Chicken fried bacon in like ranch.
Ranch sauce.
Oh, God. Okay, I know what I'm doing tonight after I get off the motorcycle.
Forget ice cream with chicken fried bacon.
How could you deny chicken fried bacon?
I don't know. I'm probably going to make that in the morning. Yeah.
You're going to wait till the morning?
Yeah.
You're a better man than I am.
If I had chicken fried bacon and I got home and prepared it, it'd be like 10:30 at night and stuff like that. My clock expires shortly after that. I can't stay up, and I will have chicken fried bacon dreams, and it'll be crazy. Things will happen. So.
Alan Schildroth, is it cured bacon or fresh? I don't know. I'm going to look into it.
It's bacon. You don't let Tony have the chicken fried bacon.
There are certain things Kathy has no control over, and that's one of them.
Mm-hmm. I wonder.
I let her run the business. I let her run the bank. I let her run all that stuff. It's all yours. You do it. Nobody comes between me and my food.
I wonder if you could.
I'd be afraid. Mike Ray is saying sausage white gravy. Yeah. Chicken fried bacon. I never heard of it.
No. Wonder why everybody in the U.S. has coronary problems. Of all the people that have heard it, that's plaque. They've never opened up someone's heart and found a big glob of fat. Okay.
But the brain runs on fat.
Yes, fat is good.
I know.
Yes,
I know.
Yes. Sugar bad, fat good.
Yes.
Yeah. Would you use a gasket on the diff when changing the differential oil?
Well, it depends on the rear end. If it's an 8 3/4, I've never used a gasket. A very thin film of RTV, black RTV, and send it. No, I've never used. I can't ever remember using a gasket.
On an 8-inch or 9-inch, I don't think I've ever used it either.
Yeah.
Just the same thing, just black and let it sit for 20 minutes and
Yep.
ram her home and you're good. I like bacon. I have friends that visit. They want fat backs. It's bacon with the meat on it.
Zero saying lard is good.
Yeah.
Well, back in the day, they used to cook everything with lard, and everybody lived to be like 95 years old, and like okay, you know what I'm saying?
Now that
Yeah. They would.
Now it's all these oils you could use to power your lawnmower.
Yeah.
They will lubricate your lawnmower. You take canola oil and dump it in there. You don't need.
The old timers, you look at the old timers, like the 80-year-olds, and from when we were kids, right?
Right.
And what were they doing? They were building ships in a bottle. They were playing like card games. They lived for that sort of stuff.
Yeah.
Mahjong. The old ladies used to play mahjong.
Mm-hmm.
Now people have reached like 65, 70 years old, and they're blown out. There's no mind left.
No, they've gotten overloaded their whole lives, and now they have time, and they're like, "What do I do?"
They're not getting the right fat. They're not getting enough fat to keep their brain happy and alive.
Yeah.
Vegetable oils. They're getting all vegetable oils.
Right, which is like just drink poison.
Those cadavers. For you, it's just bacon that thinks it's better than you. Change your mind. You're right.
Mm-hmm.
The brain is mostly cholesterol. That's right, DOA.
Mm-hmm.
Russ Peters and Derricks. My grandpa lived to 98, and he lived on Lucky Strikes, wild turkey, and pork. Yes, I know. And use real butter. That's right. Margarine margarine is bad.
Okay, next question.
Oh, okay.
So freshly board block, is it bad to run molly rings on the break-in?
No.
No, I figured, but that's what you're.
But now, if you're asking a question like that, it means you may have overlooked a serious step when you assemble this engine. Okay. Because Molly ring requires a fine bore finish. Okay, so you may want to really stop and think about this for a minute before you pull a pin on trying to start that engine. When you honed it or when you had it honed, did you do it specifically for a Molly ring? Because Molly and stainless rings both take a very fine bore finish. Yes, but a cast ring takes a coarse bore finish. So the break-in process is completely different. If you have your cylinders honed for a cast ring, it will literally take the molly off your new molly rings before the engine even starts. It will have scraped most of the molly off. And then what you're left with is a cast ring with a fine bore, and it'll never seal right. So keep that in mind. Let's see. Molly Ringwald. What the hell is that?
I don't know.
Oh, that was an actress. It was an actress.
Mhm.
Yes. Okay.
Bob C put a NV 4500 in a 1969 318 D100. How do I get the speedometer to work? Yeah, where the NV, you can't because those are electronic.
Yeah, I have no idea.
Get a cell phone mount for the windshield and click it on speedo and go down the road. Yeah.
Glenn Nicholson, spam, 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 spam. With all the rest of it. Wonderful spam.
Yeah, and the 4500 is a manual 5-speed, right? But they were never had the speed sensors electronic.
Yeah.
Yeah, they never had a good gear so where you could retrofit anything to my knowledge.
Juice Cartier, how's the red Jeep? I was just talking about that. I just got the tires for it yesterday and had them mounted up. So I put a set of 275 60 15s on it. And I took her for a hit here in front of the shop, and it seems to bite a whole lot better than it did with the ones that were on there. So I'm gonna run it over to the track Friday night and make a couple of runs with it and hopefully go faster than we did on our first pass ever. Which is ridiculous.
With those tires, you should be able to walk that out.
Should be able to walk it out.
Yeah. Shouldn't spin, shouldn't bog, just.
In theory.
Yeah.
NV 4500 is a manual 5-speed. Yes.
Yeah. I'd like to see what happened to the trans hump for that NV 4500. Nothing. The trans hump in that D100 is humongous. Probably just flopped right in.
How about Bonzo? What's your take on the cheap eBay aluminum heads?
That's get what you pay for.
Yeah, I mean, I see a lot of people talk about how they're filthy. They take them apart. The quality control isn't there with those heads. I haven't heard anything about like seats dropping out or any major defects like that. But I don't really pay too much attention either. You know what I mean? It's not like I'm in the middle of like an active engine building, business or I'm surrounded by people who are always cycling through aftermarket parts like that, where I get firsthand knowledge on something. So I just I got to go by what I see, the same way what you see. And
I've used those.
Okay.
I like them for the price point, just for the heat dissipation. But when you get them, yes, you have to take them completely apart.
Okay.
And you have to make sure that everything is seated, put the alcohol in the ports and, make sure everything's seated and the springs that they sent you are the springs that they're supposed to be in it, stuff like that. But other than that.
How's the quality of the valve job, like the seats? Are they adequate?
Yeah, I mean, that's not the best, and usually just you maybe have to lap one or two, in my experience, but they're pretty good. I have them on the Falcon. I've had them on tons of stuff because I'm cheap. So that's how that works. And I've also paid all the money for AFRs and trip flows and everything else too. So.
Juice Clark here, by the way, your video about the oiling issue and the new Hemi is very good. Well, thank you. Thank you. I appreciate that. That got a lot of views. Scotty Kilmer shared that. Mike Ray says your Schwartz is bigger than my Schwartz. Okay. Where did that come from?
I don't know. You don't know, you don't know their state of mind on the other end of this little machine, so.
Spaceballs. Yes, Spaceballs. May the Schwartz be with you. That's right. Okay. Jose Carrera, I'm sorry, I'm murdering your name, Jose.
Jose, yeah.
Cheap eBay aluminum. Be very careful. A lot of them have cast iron inserts instead of hardened inserts, and slowly they fall apart. Interesting. Okay.
I haven't seen that. But okay.
Um, Straight Bullet is saying the chat summary is hilarious for an automotive channel.
Yes.
Yes.
Going back to the opening minutes, we have a tech talk tonight.
Yes.
Yeah.
We aim to make it interesting.
Well, we'll go with the flow. It's fine. It generally never goes on Monday nights. It goes.
Well, doesn't Dallas do a pretty serious tech show?
Let's just move on from that subject.
But he does serious tech shows.
He does, and
Yeah.
but it's no fun.
Oh, don't say that. Come on, it's got to be.
It's less fun.
It's got to be a lot of fun. Come on, it's Dallas. He's a barrel of laughs.
Okay.
Yeah,
I like Dallas.
I like Dallas too.
He's our neighbor out here.
Let's see, but he does it. Every Wednesday night, right alongside ours, or opposite ours. He does a tech talk show where they talk about tech. All right. DIY Garage, what is the funnest, your opinion, non-mechanical modification you did to a car with or to factory parts, steering wheels, seats, gauges, etc.?
Well, early on, one of my first cars was a 68 Galaxy convertible. One of the horns blew out. So I went to the junkyard, got a different horn, and they're high lows. But these two, they would oscillate.
Okay.
So I go, wow, wow, wow.
You couldn't do that if you tried.
No. That was clearly blind luck, and it was hilarious because everyone knew.
Abel D. Tony, do you have an idea when Project Improbable is back? Yes, weather permitting, this Friday night.
And Friday, they say it's going to be sunny and 82. Yeah.
Let's see. Tula Toilet and Septic, but they don't discuss bacon. Where else would I have heard about chicken fried bacon? Yes, I know exactly my point. Exactly. Mm-hmm. That is the value of UTG. This is the place to find that stuff.
Yeah.
What was I just going to say now?
I don't know.
It's Tula Toilet. Have you ever seen Drain Addicts?
I don't think so.
Dude, it's fucking crazy. Have you guys? Because the name of his channel got me thinking about this. Have you ever seen a channel called Drain Addicts, like drug addicts, but drain? Keep them busy for me.
All right. He's gonna pull it up. Able, Dr. One of a big Richard, like a responsible playboy, carry extra rubbers for power tour in the bed. Probably I got a whole stack of them back at the garage for that because it's going to need it. They drain what? We're going to find out in a minute here.
Yeah, he's got 660,000 subs. Some of these videos are really long.
What's the?
It's here. It's all point of view. Mm-hmm. He wears the rubber gloves. He walks like that everywhere, and he sets up like figures, like little army men and shit like that in the drain.
That's the whole premise.
much dirty jobs. No, drain addict is completely different. I don't do drugs myself at all anymore. I'm like totally straight edge, okay? But if you smoke, right, that sort of thing, right, light drain addicts is the channel for you.
Yeah, this is.
Yeah.
Yeah, this is like watching a Pink Floyd movie.
Yeah, exactly. Let's see. Bob's Chop Shop. Hey Tony, Dr. Art, do you know if Sage 5 is still making 426 heads for the 3D? I don't think so. I don't think so. Steve Magnetti used to actually work for them. He might know. Throw a message over on his channel. He's up and running again. Bob C, have you ever had to grind down a round retainer clip that holds the spring down on your manual transmission stick shift? I have to read that again. Have you ever had to grind down a round retainer clip that holds the spring down on a manual? I'm not sure what you're talking about. He might.
No.
Runs and shifts like new.
Okay.
Spitfire Mike, Dallas and Kiwi doing their own show. Yes, they're going to team up. Yes. As soon as he's done sulking, he'll go over and team up with Dallas. It'll be great. Is Tony going on the Power Tour on the Charger? Yes, I am. Not the whole thing. Just Bowling Green and Nashville over here. I don't have the attention span to do the whole thing. Scott Kuhn, could a 90 through 93 electronic speedometer from a full-size pickup be adapted to the D100 to allow the use of the NV45? I don't know. Probably. Los Cadavra is saying Kiwi, Dallas, that by their powers combined, they will become Captain Planet. I can see them merging, yes. Joe Case, so you can hop on and off Power Tour whenever you wish. Dude, they're just driving down the road. I'm not playing the whole Power Tour thing, buying stuff and buying it. No, I'm gonna this car is going from one location to the other, and I'm gonna fall in with them and go to that location, and I'll fall in with them going to the next location. Matt, Tony, since he moved to Tennessee, have you had the chance to make VGG mad at you yet? I didn't do anything to make him mad. He doesn't like me. It's just like that's it. He just doesn't like me. What's the latest on the Cherokee? You'll see it for Saturday. We're going to take it out Friday night.
Here's a good one. Tony, have you ever tried to build a Boss Hog bike with a Mopar engine?
Yeah, I like my bikes to be motorcycles. I like motorcycles in the purest sense of motorcycles, and the mixing and matching just doesn't do it for me. Barry Cuda, I like you too, Barry Cuda.
Live on the Power Tour? I don't know.
Probably not.
Probably not. No. We'll get content out of it and see some cool stuff, but I don't think I'm going to sit there with a selfie live.
Yeah, I'm not going to do anything like that. I'm just going to go and hang out.
Yeah.
Oh, Paul Cavazzolo, are you and Kiwi still cool? I am cool with him. He's not cool with me. Barry, could I like you a lot? Okay, you can just stop there and I like you. That's fine. Don't keep going, bro, because you're right there on the edge. Make things weird. Don't make things weird, man.
Don't make Mexicans put you in timeout.
Pork soda. I just wanted to say that. Really, just sometimes it's like a Tourette's thing. I have pork soda. Mm-hmm. 72Z20, for what it's worth, I prefer UTG over the dead animal on the roadshow. Tim Thrower, found my fortune as a master technician only after stopping drugs, replacing it with my talent and fast cars. I went through the same thing when I was younger, man. It's Buell Pride Month. Come on.
That was pretty good.
Riff Raff Ruckus, when is Tony and Dr. Art going to break up? When are we going to have a falling out?
I don't know. It depends.
It always depends.
It depends. Depends a lot. Depends on cookies. Depends who pisses who off, and
You can win a lot of easy going with cookies.
Yeah, exactly. It's cranky. Feed them chocolate chip, and it's fine for a few more months. Yeah, it's easy.
Buell Pride Month. Come on, that hurts, man. That hurts.
Well, at least you don't have doesn't have its own flag.
It's got a freaking 100 horsepower. Come on, 104 horsepower.
That's plenty on two wheels.
Yes. Yes. Mike Ray, I did one small 500cc Buell. I had one of those, a Buell Blast. It was a blast. Those bikes are a lot of fun.
I'm giving Fred retail vegetarian.
The one, so we were talking about it earlier. Yesterday I impulse bought the Buell Ulysses, and it's over at a friend of mine's house right now. It came with knobbies on it, which I found out is not a happy combination. A 500-pound bike with 100 horsepower on knobbies on asphalt is not good. So right now, as we speak, as we're doing this, I got a buddy of mine swapping the tires for me. So when I leave here, I can get back to my house. I can go really around the neighborhood on my brand new Buell Ulysses.
Here's car care. I have a 2005 Magnum 5.7 RT for sale. If anyone wants one, thanks. Well, how much, sir?
Old cars and music. A lot of these guys who have their backs up at Tony are the way because Tony can make lots of power on a budget when they have to rely on sponsors. I really don't make a lot of power. I mean, I make moderately okay power out of complete and utter junk. So it's not that. I don't know what it is. I don't know what it is. I don't really care. But it's gone on for my whole life. Refer focus. Tune in for the lamb chop off Dallas Daddy's money. Ironhead sports are cool. I had when I moved down to Tennessee. I came down here with 7 Ironheads. I sold all my UJMs. I sold my sport bikes. I sold everything. I had 28 motorcycles when I left from New York, and I sold everything except my Ironhead sportses. I came down here with 7 of them.
Yeah, how many?
28.
Is that when you had the whole first floor?
Whole bottom floor of my house was dogs and motorcycles, and then the upstairs was like Kathy had normal.
For the children.
Yeah. So we had 2 different zones. You know what I mean? Which people are like, well, why do you and Kathy get along so well? But because I understand the concept of everybody needs their space. You know what I mean? And as long as you maintain that space, you got your space, she got her space, it all works. You'll get along awesome forever.
Right. You have to let the other guy do what they want to do.
Yep.
Yeah. Whether you like it or not, it's not you. Now, I had a question about the bikes too, because that brings it up. Because when I think his name's Sean from Beards and Bikes moved to Tennessee.
Yeah.
I know you're trying to get a hold. He's in like Columbia, isn't he?
Yeah. I try to get a hold and I can't get through to him. But he's probably like me. He doesn't. He's like isolated.
Yeah.
YouTube does that to people. It's just
well, yeah, because he's busy. He has a whole career. That's like his job, and he doesn't have time to answer.
Right.
Yeah.
Yeah. He doesn't know me from a hole in a wall. I wouldn't expect him to.
But that Buell would be good crossover content. It would be something interesting to have on, on like a Thursday night or something like that.
Oh, I love that. I love his channel. Actually, all his channels. I'm a big fan of his work. But like I said, I'm not gonna like be one of those intrusive.
You're not gonna be a fanboy.
Yeah, no, I'm not gonna be a fanboy.
You're gonna come here look for him. There's an industrial park over here. Look for the Pennsylvania plates on the
Yeah,
van. Yeah.
no. If at some point our paths cross, that's one thing.
Great.
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
I will. I will.
But I was watching one of his videos today about that little Honda credit card motorcycle. Have you seen that?
Oh yeah. Mike Ray, need good tire spoons for bike knobbies. No, you need a friend who likes to do stuff like that.
Right.
That's what you need. And a way to break the beads. No, you just need a friend that likes to do that sort of stuff.
Yeah. Some people.
You throw them a few
Some
bucks
people,
and you say, I'll pick it up when you're done.
and they're like, "Yay!
Yeah.
I love changing tires, and they're paying me for it." Yay!
Right.
Mm-hmm. Yeah. That's Kathy overlaying going and can release a Dodge at any moment into the living room.
I've had Kathy's very seasoned. Kathy's very seasoned. You have no idea what that poor girl has put up with. So there's really nothing that can surprise her that I could do. Paul Capizzola, are you planning on doing another live with Brian Loans? I certainly am. I love Brian. Brian is freaking awesome. We had a great time together, and yeah, I'll get a hold of him soon, and we'll schedule something. I would like to get a roundtable thing going with him, uh, 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 Jeff Stunkard, and Steve Magnanti. I think getting all the old magazine guys together. Yeah, I think it'd be a lot of fun.
Mm-hmm.
Kathy is numb. Yes, she's very numb. Russ Crumb, can you use a Crown Vic front end on a '59 Thunderbird?
If the Thunderbird front frame rails are wide enough, I don't know off the top of my head. 59s are. It's a pretty, they're a pretty big vehicle. I would think they're close.
Hey, Sosie, what about living room burnout? Sure, Kathy would be shocked. I used to do chirpies with the nitro cart in the driveway in New York. So yeah, no. And someday she'll tell you the story about the Halloween party. Okay, which I'm not even going to go into now, right? But next time Kathy's on and you guys are curious, right? Ask her about the nitro cart and the Halloween party, and she'll tell you a story. So yes, she's numb. She's very numb.
Yeah, if I can find a like a big burnout in the driveway or in front of the house like I have been known to do. My wife's like, "Oh, cool, I'm filming for you."
Yeah, there you go. Let's see. Let's talk about politics. You'll see how Kathy is nothing but numb. uh, Jay Rose, I'm watching on my TV via YouTube. You really should address the audio issues. I have a professional sound guy coming here on Friday to straighten this out once and for all. So yes.
So
in theory, next
Wednesday will be
yes.
Voices of Angels instead of this echoey tin can that we have.
My dishwasher kept making funny sounds. I told her to be quiet.
You see that? My wife let me build an engine in the dining room. Some people just marry the wrong woman. That's right. If you're a lunatic, you can't really get away with a Barbie. So, Dr. Art, whatever happened to that GTR you were working on, the people came and got it due to lack of support on their part. And it's long gone. It's their problem now, which is a shame because that was a cool car.
It was. I wanted to.
Oh, I was looking forward to that one, but that's okay. No harm, no foul.
See, Richard Pelvin, what do you think of the DV versus Eric W exchanges? No comment. No comment. I'm not going to get sucked into that. Uh, that other guy, what's his name? So, oh shit, he's down in Florida.
The head guy?
The head, he's a little freaking worm. Him I don't like at all. But I would not get involved between DV and Eric Weingartner.
Yeah, let them have their, that's their planet.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm. Rick, do you work on Chrysler Marine engines? I got a 1969 318 that needs a new gasket and maybe head machine. How far do I take how far down do I take the lower?
I don't know what you mean by that. 603 needs new gasket, maybe head machine. I don't know what you mean by how far do I take the lower. Maybe rephrase that. We could probably figure it out. A Jewish woman president. She will fix everything. I'm a Jewish woman. Don't look at me like that.
I know that's how you identify.
Yes.
I'm just surprised you're telling them.
You've heard me kvetch.
Yes.
UT, have you ever driven Art's hot rod red truck? No, and I will not. I'm not going to break his toy. Let's see.
But speaking of that, because we had talked about that for a fall adventure.
You want to race bottle rocket?
Yeah.
Yeah, I'm down with that. Pick a date and let's do this thing.
It'll be like September, October.
Okay.
Yeah. But yeah, I think it'd be good. I think I'll have time to actually do the 3 small things I have to do to it by then.
You'll have to do a formal call up.
Yeah, we've done that.
Okay.
Yeah. Jay Rose, I'm the guy with the Paxton Supercharger. Any recommendations as to where to have it refurbished? It was taken from a 1964 Ranchero 300 cubic inch thing. To Paxton, or because we talked about this, there's like there's a bunch of people on Google that say they do it, but there's like the one main guy. I forgot what it was off the top of my head. Is that addresses? I don't know if it was here or on my channel. Oh, okay. Yeah, because because he has it off, and I'm like, send me the rebuild kit in the Paxton. I'll make the content on it. Yeah, but if not, send it. Send it to Paxton or send it to me. Either way, if you got a rebuild kit for it, and if it can't be rebuilt, well, nobody's going to play hero. We'll just ship it off to Paxton. Dale, Dada, sorry, Doctor, you're still looking for a Mopar. There's a guy that sells a 73 Cuda 90% complete, but in need of full restoration. Unless you love patina, asking $6,500 Canadian, 5K US, only 2,000 miles away from you. Doesn't seem like a bad price.
Here's my trailer.
Yeah. But we'll skip that for the minute because I got enough to do at the minute.
I'm talking about YouTube. We're looking up 70 Sportster parts. Why is there a break-off point in 1970? Maybe some changes made.
Was that the AMF years or was that like
Yeah.
73?
I think AMF started in 70. I'm not even sure. But as far as the Sportster, so the difference between a 69 and a 70 Sportster. Electrical system changed. No major changes. Major changes happened in 75 when they switched the linkage over because the sports used to be right foot shift, and then 75 they started running linkages under. Really stupid setup, but to put everything in proportion with other American bikes instead of the British bikes. Then '77, they actually changed the transmission itself so that it had the shifter on the left hand side instead of just the pedal linkage going underneath. Then your next change was 1979. They changed the frame and the ignition and the charging system. But I can't think of anything that happened between 69 and 70. And of course, 85, the Evo. What do we got?
I was enjoying the bacon pit.
Cuba, I don't even know anymore.
Yeah.
69 to 81 is AMF. Yes.
Okay, so,
thank you, Chongo.
Yeah.
Shovelhead or Evo, or Ironhead or an Evo. Evo. I mean, yeah, the Ironheads and Shovelheads are cool. I love them. They have their own unique feel to them. But yeah, it's hard to beat an Evo.
Well, Dr. Art, would you ever do a hot rod golf cart? I did pre-YouTube years when I was still out west. So they're cool, but it was like didn't do much for me. It just made the neighbors mad, and wife didn't want to drive it, so it just went away. But she does want a golf cart. But she wants one that's quite and normal with cup holders and lift a little bit with big tires and stuff like that. Yeah, just
mildly modified.
Right. She doesn't want to something.
She doesn't want a Hayabusa powered one.
Right.
Okay.
Yeah.
Which would be cool.
Oh yeah.
All right. Oh, it's after 9 o'clock. Let's see. End of time. I need to find a vengeful wife who wants to clear out her husband's Mopars.
They're out there.
Yeah, there are lots of them. Yes.
Yeah. You hit it at the right time. You can get that. That 69 Charger for $500 because he's off living with his second family at the minute. Yeah.
Ruscom, I have an 82 Honda 900 custom 10-speed. Yeah, so people don't know about that, right? It's not actually a 10-speed; it's a high-low range. So it's still a 5-speed transmission, but it's a high-low. And the only problem I had one of those bikes, and I worked on a couple of them. That was a very popular bike in New York. And the only thing with those bikes is that there's so much power loss because you've got the regular output, then you got the jack shaft, and then the overdrive unit, and then it transfers power back to, and there's just so much drive line lost through there that it's kind of like it negates any benefit of the dual range. You know what I'm saying? And they're heavy. Oh my God, those bikes are heavy. It's like a locomotive.
Well, basically, you got two transmissions on.
It's really this. Have you ever seen one of those?
I've seen one. I've never ridden there.
It's just solid between the header and the back tire. Is just this solid block of machinery. I mean, it's crazy. Let's see, Rick Roman. Should I take apart the block? I don't know what block. Check bearings, take out pistons, check roundness, replace rings. Compression ranges from 100 psi on a couple of cylinders to 30 psi on the aft two cylinders. Well, that 30 psi on the aft two cylinders is a blown head gasket. 99.99999% sure that's what you've got. If you got two cylinders, which is 30 psi. And that seems to be the number. When you get two joining cylinders and there's a break in the gasket between them, 30 psi is like the number. So, yes. I mean, that's the marine engine, Rick. I'm sorry. Okay, now I'm remembering. Yeah, bro, I would take it all down. I would take it down and freshen it up. Marine engines, they live a brutal life. They really do. So yeah, it wouldn't hurt, man. I would take it down.
You said you had
Yeah,
yeah, just if you got two dead back holes, yeah, just
tear it down, bro.
tear it down.
You'll be happy. And you only got 100 psi and a couple of, so yeah, no, tear it down and go through it. You'll be happy you did. Uh, Bonds, we try not to get political here, bro. Um,
Did you shut up the table tonight? Something looks different.
yes, well, no, not really. It's filthy. I never even cleaned it after I got it off of Facebook Marketplace. That's disgusting.
It's too late now.
It is. Beware of rust in the marine engines. Yes.
Mhm.
130 psi is a sweet spot for an 8-to-1 compression motor. Yes. And let's see. We've only got a few minutes left, Dr. Art.
Yeah.
Let's wrap this up
All right.
because I've
I
noticed
know you're jittery to get on the view. I understand.
Right. Watch, I'm gonna get homeless guy down.
You won't care. Yeah.
That thing, yeah, I would care.
Oh, okay.
It's a little hair trigger. At least I'm not used to it. I have to get used to it. I have to bond with it and understand it. But right now, to me, it's like a wild animal.
Give it hugs and rubs like one of the dogs. Yeah. Okay. So tell the folks what you have. We'll switch it up. Tell the folks what you have coming up in the next week.
Really nothing. I'm not making much content lately.
Or you make a fuel video. You're
Yes.
taking the X-Fitting.
Yes. Thank you. What do I do without you, bro?
You'd be here by yourself.
We can't have a fallout because you remind me of these things. So yes, tomorrow I'm going to walk you guys around my new to me Buell Ulysses, and Friday night we're taking. I was going to take Sledgehammer because I made a couple of changes to Sledgehammer. I was going to take Sledgehammer, but I got the tires for Mission Improbable. So I don't have a short grip unit for it yet, but I do have the tires. So we're going to see what kind of improvement the tires will make. So we're going to take that on Friday night. And that's all I can think of. What about you?
More of the big Richard build. Got to finish up the exhaust and then insert the radiator, build the trans lines, find a fill tube and a kick down and a few miscellaneous things, and I should be able to fire it up.
There you go.
But a few miscellaneous things, maybe 20 hours of labor. So it may not happen all tomorrow. It may be.
And you're going to build the Chrysler. Danny.
Yeah.
Yes. So
well, I'm in possession of it. It's the more I look, I'm like, well, it's missing all the tins, it's missing the valley covers, no bolts. But
you're in possession of it.
I'm in possession of it, and I've made a short and a post, and so.
Okay.
And then it was for fun. I put up on the short and the post. Okay, tell me your make and model and the displacement. Win a prize.
Okay.
And people danced all the way around it, but nobody got it because it's not the Chrysler or the Dodge, it's the DeSoto and it's the 392 and it's the so.
Wow.
It's a 392 Chrysler.
Yes.
Yeah. Some people thought maybe a DeSoto or
okay.
And weird stuff like that. So that was.
Well, when they strip like that, unless you can put them next to each other, you need an educated eye to tell the difference between the three different makes.
Yeah, and everyone guessing from everything. Oh, it's got the water port, so it's not this. It's you made this motor up, and all kinds of stuff. So yeah, that's a maybe because I took out the hot heads manifold, put all the carbs on it and stuff.
The easiest way to identify from literally from outer space. The easiest way to identify a 392, a Chrysler 392, is the windows So you're looking at the blocks
So
upside
upside
down.
down, the windows between
The windows between the saddles and
Mhm.
the Train 82 is the only block that has that. All right, so guys, our awesome mods, Zero, Mexican Spec, Fubar. I don't think I saw Ari. Guys, thank you so much for keeping everybody in line. Thank you. And keeping things moving. And links to Dr. Art's Hot Rod Rehab.
Yeah.
Because so people can go over there and sub to him.
Sub to them. We're getting close to 8,000. So
Nice.
that would make me slightly happy.
Nice. Dakota knows a guy to kill someone with a mop bucket. Everybody contributed with super chat. Thank you so much. Greatly appreciated. Never expected, but always appreciated. Everybody contributed with your presence and your conversation. Thank you equally.
Because without them, it's nothing. It's just us staring at a blank screen for 2 hours.
Bingo. It's hard, yeah.
They make the show. It's not us.
They do make the show. Thank you. Dada's through super chat real quick. Dude, we're trying to get out of here. I'm building my Pontiac 6X heads, and I'm wondering how big can I go on the valve springs as per most HP versus wiping the cam. 066 camshaft, my 389. Oh, bro, I do not know. I could not tell you. I don't know. I don't know. Call the cam grinder.
Cam people, and they'll tell you the exact spring that's not too much, not too little in your RPM range you want to run. And they'll send you a beautiful set to you in the mail for a small cost, and you'll be quite happy.
Yes. So that's it. I'm going to ride my motorcycle.
I'm going home. It's hot. You know?
It is hot here. I gotta figure. See, it's just.
Somebody steal your AC units?
I don't know what the hell's going on there. Good night, everybody. And it's over.